Sky Cable TV Kenya, Beyond the Real.
Hi viewers, my name is Susan Muita with True Living Show, which airs via Sky Cable TV. I want to wish everybody Merry Christmas 2021. And today, as we continue on healthy living, we'll talk about constipation. The reason why I chose the topic constipation is because lately we have been talking about healthy eating, and we'll continue more talking about healthy eating, but we have to pause and ask ourselves, when we are eating this healthy, what else can go wrong, so that we can also be able to correct whatever can go wrong. So the topic of today is constipation. So that's what can go wrong when we are eating. Once in a while, everybody has faced this problem of constipation. And if you have never faced it, you know somebody who has been there. Myself, there was a time I was constipated. So let's talk on how, because we know majority of people, once in a while, somebody gets constipated somehow and somewhere. So, what is constipation? Constipation is a condition in which you have fewer than 3 bowel movements in a week. So let's say you have been having less than 3 bowel movements in a week, count yourself being constipated. But we know that everybody, or it's on an individual basis on how we move our bowels. But mostly, if you go for a week with less than 3 bowel movements, that's part of constipation. So, what is constipation? What can we call the bowel when it's constipate? So some of the condition when your constipation is that your bowel is hard, your bowel is dry, and your bowel is lumpy, and you also have difficult passing that bowel, and you feel uncomfortable when you're moving your bowels. What else can we talk about constipation? How can we relieve constipation? But before even we go on relieving constipation, let's talk about the symptoms of constipation. So I just said that, if you have fewer than 3 bowel movements in a week, that is the constipation. Okay, if the bowel or the stool, is dry, is hard, is lumpy, if that stool is difficult to pass, if you have a stomachache and cramps on your belly, that's another one. If your belly is bloated and you feel nauseous, that's another symptom of being constipated. When you move your bowels, do you feel like if it's empty? So when you're constipated, even after you move a big bowel or stool, or you still feel like you haven't, there's something left inside you. So that's a symptom of constipation. So we'll go step by step, and then we'll talk on how to relieve that constipation. And before we move on how to relieve constipation, just go down there. You see the red ravish button. Just press it and subscribe so that you can see more of the content we bring you on this channel. So let's continue on how to relieve the constipation. How do you do it? Everybody or different people, they have different ways that they relieve constipation. But for me, I would tell you that, how you relieve your constipation, or how you can do it, or how I've done it in the past, is you drink 2 or 4 extra glasses of water. In the past videos, when we have been covering other conditions before, we had mentioned that in a day you are supposed to take 6 to 8 glasses of water. So it means if you get constipated, then the amount of water you take per day, then you should add, 2 to 4 glasses more than what you usually take. So let's say you take 6 glasses, then you can go ahead and do 8 to 10 glasses. If you usually drink, 2 glasses a day, then you should add 4 glasses, and water will help you, unconstipate yourself. Another way to relieve the constipation, also, to help the stool move out or to make it soft, is you take warm liquids, like warm water, warm soup, something warm, hot coffee, hot tea. Then you can add up fruits in your diet. A lot of fruits and vegetables in your diet. And mostly we know there are some types of fruits which when you eat, most people, they help you move your bowels, like prunes. If you can get a habit of eating prunes when you're constipated, and that the prunes, they are good on helping you to unconstipate. And we know even taking the prune juice. So if you're constipated, it's also good to warm the prune juice, and that will help you more. Or any other drink, juicy fruits, liquids. Then you can eat prunes, and also you can eat cereal. But cereal, the best types of cereal to eat is the whole grain cereals. We have a lot of them. On the supermarkets or wherever you buy them. They are those, you check the one with more fiber, the ones which is also made from whole grain. Then you exercise. Make sure when you're constipated, even if you don't exercise, try to exercise on a daily basis. Try even to exercise often. Exercise, like, if let's say before you are exercising once a day or 30 minutes or 1 hour, then when you're constipated or you feel like you're heading to constipation, make sure that you exercise this more. For those people who don't exercise at all, it's a good habit to exercise, and that way it will be helping you and not to be constipated. Another way you can help yourself relieve constipation is do not ignore to poop. Like let's say you have a busy life, or you are in a situation where there is no toilet or somewhere you can go, or you are too busy. Rotate some hours or time so that you go sit on the toilet and you go and poop. It depends on the type of the toilet you're using. Also, we'll get onto that because they say that the best toilet to use is a lower toilet where you can sit so that you can squat well and be able to move your bowels. So spare time if you are constipated, or you feel you're getting constipated, or your bowels are getting hard and lumpy. Spend some time, create time. Some people are disturbed. Let's say you are using a lavatory or a toilet on a busy place, or where it's noisy or near other people. Some people feel embarrassed, and then their body sometimes feel like shutting down, or they are shy about it. So create an environment. Go to a toilet where it's quiet, where you're not disturbed, and concentrate on it and be able to move those bowels so that you're not constipated. So while we are still continuing on the topic of constipation, because we have been talking on this channel about healthy eating. So we want you to have a better way when you eat healthy. when you choose the right foods, we also want it to be easy on you so that you're not constipated. And also, we don't want you also to go to the extreme that then you have diarrhea. But for diarrhea, it's a topic for another day. We'll cover it one of these days. So how does the constipation occur? Constipation occurs, when your waste or stool moves too slowly on your digestive tract and cannot be eliminated effectively. And as I had mentioned earlier on, or as I'm repeating it, the stool becomes hard and dry. So know how you can be, relieving that bowels. And sometimes that when you're constipated, that bowels become painful. Even when you go to the toilet, when you're going, when you press it or when you're forcing it to come out, because hard stool or constipation makes the stool hard. So even when you're moving, it irritates, your bowel, let's say even your right colon and your rectum. So it can hurt there, and that's what's the pain, And sometimes you touch your right intestine and you feel it's hard. So that's part of it. And you feel discomfort, you feel heaviness of it. And then some abdominal regions you can't even touch because of the pain. Sometimes even you feel some of that pain on your back. So before we continue on constipation, just comment and also subscribe. And let's continue on how we can make, we can make the bowels move faster, or how we can undo the constipation so that your bowel movements should be on a normal way. And this is a practice for everybody, and especially those people who get constipation more than the others, because we know that we are all different. There are some people who tend to have hard bowels most of the time. So what they can be doing, what they can do so that that doesn't occur often, or it doesn't continue like that. So what they should be doing is they should be taking fiber supplements. Fiber supplements can come in terms of, in form of food. You can eat food with high fiber. We know some of foods which has high fiber, like corn. Some people, it depends on the individual, but some people, they end up having better bowel movements, especially when they eat the green corn, the corn. Others, other foods with high fiber. We have different types of vegetables. A lot of vegetables have high fiber, and especially fresh vegetables, especially coming from the garden, straight from the garden, or from fresh market. But mostly frozen foods. Some of them, they have it, but try to avoid frozen foods. If you want to have the real fiber, unless you're getting it from dry grains. If you're getting it from vegetables and fruits, try to have them when they are fresh, and try to get the natural foods, which, that kind of vegetables. Also, as we have tackled previously, drink a lot of water. Then take laxative stimulants. We have a lot in the market nowadays. We also have the natural ones, like the Metamucil. They are different. And then the prunes. But if you have to take also the laxants, which are chemically made, they are those which are in the stores or in the pharmacy or chemist. We have things like stool softeners. There are sections where they have those types. We have Senna, you can take it. Most of these are just like over the counter. But if your constipation continues and becomes too much, if you see a doctor, there are those which are subscribed also, depending on the severity of your constipation. So on every chemist or any pharmacy or any drugstore, they have a section for that. And if you don't know what to take, you can ask the chemist or the people who are helping there. Or if you have a prescription written by the doctor, then you can go with that. Then you can also use lubricant. A lubricant. Some of those are also sold at the drugstore or, like a supermarket. We know some of them. They are also over the counter, and some of them are lubricated. Some are not. I remember when I was a kid, long time. So at one time I was constipated, and my mom used the soap so that I could be able to vacate, and I was able to do that. So it also depends on the area you stay and what you have or whatever you use. So just use whatever you have. So that can also help. There are others like enema. It's in form of water. So it can be inserted on your rectum. If it's too much or you can move or it cannot get out. So those are some of the things which can be done to help you relieve your constipation. Then we also have juices, you can take. We earlier on had talked about, taking more water. But now here there are juices which can also help. And we had said that if you really, really want to relieve it, you can even warm these juices. The first one, which is very, very effective to many people, it's prune juice. So prune juice and also prune fruits, you can eat them. They are available in some markets, on fresh markets. They are also available on supermarkets. You can also, some people can grow them, so you can have that. Then apple juice, apple juice coming from the apples. And also on the apple juice, you can be able to add some of the laxatives like senna in there. You can even put it there, melt it, warm it, and then drink it, and it will be good. Also pear juice from pear fruits. It's another option, and other beverages. I have a friend who told me that, like, when she feels constipated, so she takes concentrated coffee. So all this is also based on the individual basis. So whatever makes you move your bowels, whatever softens your bowels is different from one person to the other. And while we are continuing on constipation, don't forget to go down there and press that button and subscribe. As we continue on constipation, so when is it an emergency? When you're constipated, when can we say this is an emergency? That I have to see a doctor, I have to go to an emergency room, I have to do something about it. This is when it is so prolonged, or you are in so much pain, or you cannot bear the abdominal pain you have. So that will make you go to the hospital or do something about it, or see a doctor, or do something drastic so that you can be able to move your bowels. We know very well that when you are constipated, there are so many things which can go wrong. One of the bad things which can happen when you're constipated you can feel nauseous. And then when you eat, the food doesn't go, the food is backed up, and you can easily have projectile vomiting because of, when you're constipated, it means when the food goes through the mouth, then it goes through, the digestive system. When it reaches your stomach, there is no place to go because maybe your small intestine, your large intestine, and your rectum, they are all blocked up. So that's another problem. Another problem which we don't want to reach there. If you are so constipated and the stool are so hard and they can't come out, what they do at the hospital, they make you have a colostomy. You don't want to have that kind of treatment because you don't want the constipation to reach that level. So it's always good to let people know, like if you have kids or people who, they stay for a long time, and when you ask them, when is the last time you pooped? And then they tell you, I don't remember. Maybe it's past 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, because this can end up to be something wrong. It can end up being you are having projectile vomiting. You can also perforate your bowels, because it's so hard. You can either have irritations on your intestines, the small, the large, even your abdomen, and also your rectum. And then at the end, you might have a surgery so that they can do the colostomy. You don't want to have any ostomy in your body. So I'll stop there, and don't forget to watch this show every Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern African time and 12 noon Eastern time. And thank you so much for watching. God bless. Thank you.
Sky Cable TV Kenya. Be on the real.